Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to On This Day. I'm Bill Cloud. Today is the 8th day of the month Adar, and it was on this day in the year 1969 that one-time Prime Minister of Israel, Levi Eshkol, passed away. Now, Eshkol was actually the third Prime Minister of Israel, and he served in that capacity from June of 1963 until his death in February 1969. Eshkol was leading the nation during the historic and, I believe, prophetically significant Six-Day War. And history has acknowledged that, though not leading the troops as Moshe Dayan did, Eshkol's careful planning and his strategic movements in the months leading up to the Six-Day War played a significant part in the lightning-quick response and the ultimate victory of the IDF. But it's his last name, Eshkol, that makes this point even more interesting. In Numbers chapter 13, we read, "Then they came to the valley of Eshkol," that is the 12 spies, "and there cut down a branch with one cluster of grapes. They carried it between two of them on a pole, and they also brought some of the pomegranates and figs. The place was called the valley of Eshkol because of the cluster which the men of Israel cut down there." Now, this passage, of course, is referring to the 12 spies who went into the land of Canaan to find the best route in order to conquer the land. Ironically, the same area from which the spies gathered the fruit would later be called, by the world anyway, the West Bank. That is the area that the IDF conquered under the leadership of Prime Minister Eshkol. Is this just one of those coincidences of history? Or might it be that the Creator was very subtly reminding the state of Israel of its storied and sometimes troubled past? Of course, as we know, 10 of those spies came back from the land and gave what the Bible considered to be an evil report. And when the people heard this evil report, they balked at entering the land for fear of the obstacles that were awaiting them. Now, just before the Six-Day War, when faced with the threats that were coming from Egypt's Nasser, at first Eshkol hesitated to act. Eventually, he gave in to pressures and he brought in Moshe Dayan. Of course, Moshe is Moses. He brought in Dayan to lead the Israeli Defense Forces, and of course, the rest is history. Here again, we have another interesting connection, Eshkol and Moshe. Which brings us to our final thought for today. If we are to possess the land and fulfill our purpose, then we're going to have to be willing to face the obstacles that are before us and not be intimidated by them. We need to remember the words of another warrior named Moshe, or Moses, who said to Israel as they prepared to enter the land of Canaan, "Be strong and of good courage. Do not fear nor be afraid of them. For the Lord your God, He is the one who goes with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you." Whatever obstacles we may be facing, it's important to remember that the Lord goes before us, and therefore there's no need for us to hesitate or to fear our enemies. If the Lord is for us, who can be against us? He has provided for us a land that flows with milk and honey, and He wants us to eat of the fruit of that land. In other words, He wants us to come into the fruition of our purpose. However, it's up to us as individuals and as a corporate body to find it within ourselves to trust Him no matter what the circumstances are. We should not hesitate to follow Him as He leads. And that's all for today. I want to thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again tomorrow on This Day. Shalom.
Like what you're hearing? Become a Bill Cloud Premium Partner to watch or listen to hundreds of hours of teachings and resources on demand. Go to BillCloud.com/subscribe to start watching today.